Hey guys, it's Darwin here with a brand new video talking about different types of hiking shoes on different types of trails and what's worked best for me. Guys, so before I get way too into the video, let me first say that this is solely my opinion and what has worked best for me. There are a lot of different types of hiking shoes and boots that a lot of different people use. It's totally a preference thing. Use what works best for you. Again, this is my opinion. All right, so the different types of hiking shoes are, number one, you have the traditional high top leather boot. Now, obviously this isn't a hiking boot. This is just a Red Wing boot that I wear from time to time, though I would never hike in it. Most of the boots that people are familiar with that are a leather high top boot are something like a Danner. They've been around for a long time and they work great. Nice quality made, good and heavy, durable. The problem that I have with something like a Danner boot is they're just really heavy. Not only are they heavy, but they also don't breathe well. Obviously it's a leather boot. It's gonna last a long time. Actually, you could probably use one pair of leather boots like a pair of Danners and hike the whole entire Appalachian Trail or the entire PCT. However, it's very heavy, it's very clunky, and it doesn't breathe well. So for me, something like a traditional boot just doesn't work. So next up is what I typically prefer, and that's gonna be a hiking shoe. This is the Merrell Moab Ventilator, and the reason that I picked this shoe is for a handful of reasons. Now they do make it in a mid version, so if you need that extra ankle support, they do make that. But the other reason I pick it is, one, it's lightweight. Two, it's nice and flexy so it still feels like a regular shoe on your foot, and you don't feel like you're wearing a big, heavy Frankenstein boot. The other reason that I choose to hike in something like this, especially for a trail like the Appalachian Trail, is it vents very nicely. It's non-waterproof and non-Gore-Tex. I know what you're saying. It rains a lot, but my feet will get wet. Here's the thing, guys. On a trail like the AT, when you're hiking on the East Coast, it rains a lot. So, are your feet going to get wet? Yes. Are you going to step in water and have your shoe fill up with tons of water? Yes, it's going to happen. It's inevitable. So the problem with things like Gore-Tex and waterproof is they do work great on the outside, but once the inside is wet, good luck on getting it dry. Especially when you're hiking 15 to 20 miles a day and you can have a whole stint of a week where it's just non-stop raining. So it's really hard to get a Gore-Tex or waterproof boot dry once the inside is wet. The reason I go with something like a ventilated hiking shoe is because my foot's gonna get wet during the day regardless, but at night I can take this shoe off, I can put on a dry pair of socks and dry this by the fire, dry it in the rafters of a shelter, or even if I'm staying at a hostel or a hotel, stuff some newspaper in it and let that newspaper soak up all of the water. So it's really important for me to have something that whenever I do get the chance to dry it out, it's gonna dry out quick. Now a shoe like the Moab Ventilator is obviously not gonna last as long as a pair of traditional hiking boots, but I was able to get about 500 to 700 miles on a single pair, and all said and done, on the 2,189 miles of the AT, I went through 4 pairs of these. So 4 pairs really isn't that bad, especially when you consider that they're only about 99 bucks a pair, so for $400 I was able to hike the whole AT. And the third type of shoe that's become super popular, especially with thru hikers, is something like a trail runner. A really popular one that a lot of people wear is the Brooks Cascadia. This is the Ultra Lone Peak 3.0, and this is the shoe that I chose to hike the very beginning of the PCT with, that I'll be pushing off until next year. So in April I was going to start the PCT, and this was going to be my shoe of choice. Whenever I'm hiking in something like the desert, I want something as light as possible, something that breathes really, really well so my feet aren't sweating, and something that's nice and flexy. That's where a trail runner comes in. So it's gonna feel very comfortable on your foot like a traditional shoe, but it's still gonna have some nice tread on the bottom so you can get really good grip on sand and rock. Now obviously these aren't gonna last as long as a traditional boot or a trail shoe. Typically most people are gonna get about 300 to 500 miles out of a pair. So are you gonna be using more of them? Obviously. But the trade-off is it's super comfortable, it's light, and it feels like a regular shoe on your foot. When you're hiking 15 to 20 miles a day, the number one thing is comfort. You want to be comfortable. Durability is great too, but comfort is number one. Being uncomfortable can take you off a trail like that. So make sure you're comfortable, which is why a lot of people go to something like a trail runner. So there's a lot of different types of shoes and boots that you can use while doing a weekend hike, a through hike, whatever type of hike that you want to do. Whenever I was out on the AT in 2015, I met tons of different people using tons of different shoes, and it's what worked for them. I even met a guy in a pair of Vibram 5 Fingers, which are the toe shoes. He was planning on hiking the entire trail in those. I hung with a guy for quite a while named Tim that hiked in a pair of Chaco open toe sandals, just wore socks and sandals. He hiked the entire trail in them. He finished the trail and had no feet problems. And then this year in 2016, met a guy that made his pair of hiking shoes out of an old tire. So it was tire tread with string on it, and he planned on hiking the entire trail in just those. So again, it comes down to preference and what works best for you. In my experience, I can tell you the two things to really think about when you're choosing your footwear for doing something like a long distance hike is number one, comfort, and number two, breathability, because you're going to need it, especially on a trail like the AT. So last week I did a video talking about the different types of power supplies that you can use while you're doing a through hike, and I talked about the PowerAd Slim 2. I held a contest asking you to send me an email giving me your YouTube and Instagram accounts, and I got a lot of requests trying to get one of these guys. So I took everybody's name that sent me an email trying to win the PowerAd Slim 2, put your name in a boot, and I'm going to draw one out right here. The lucky winner of a brand new PowerAd Slim 2 is going to be John Z. John Z, I'll send you an email asking for your address, and then I'll ship you out a brand new PowerAd Slim 2 with the Darwin on the Trail logo on it. If you haven't got a chance yet, go over and check me out on Instagram. I've been posting a lot of new photos of things that Snuggles and I do throughout the week, and some pictures of some previews of videos that I'm going to do later on in the week. Go ahead and like or dislike this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and as always guys, thanks for watching.